Okay. Hello, my name is John Gefke, and I'll be leading this meditation class with you for the next half an hour or so. And I truly thank all of you for taking the time out of your schedule to contemplate with me sort of our view and how we might use meditation to help us move through this world with a little bit more ease. I recently sort of upped the level of stress in my life, shall we say, by getting 2 puppies. And they're wonderful little girls. And their nature is to be very active. Man, they're active all over the place. They go, go, go. And one of the things they happen to do is chew. And they really like to chew on anything they can get into their mouths. And so I've had a lot of dogs over the years, and I kind of have a view of how I like these young puppies to conduct their lives, and how I think that they should be trained so that they can be good little beings, okay? And in order to accomplish this, we sort of have short-term and long-term sort of practices. In the short term, it's simply helping the puppies be aware of their behavior. So if they're chewing something they shouldn't chew, we gently remind them, hey, don't chew that puppy, and give them something they can chew. Simple replacement. You don't have to do a lot of corrective activity. You just simply show them what they shouldn't do and give them something they can do. And it's easy to do because the puppies, their true nature is very good. It's very pure. They want to please. They want to do the right thing. So it's pretty easy to do. In the longer term, we kind of think about behaviors that they do that they keep doing over and over again. And one of the issues the puppies have is with shoes. Any shoe in the house, it's fair game. And no matter how many times we replace, coming back up. So one of the things that we can do to help these puppies sort of be good little beings is to simply remove the shoes. Put the shoes in the closet. The puppies are no longer then distracted by the shoes. The shoes are out of the equation. And in a sense, we're removing the obstacle that the puppies have to achieving their little realm of happiness. Because all they want to do is they just want to be happy, right? They don't want to get scolded for chewing something they shouldn't chew when they really don't kind of understand it. They would much rather be rewarded for doing something that is okay. So we help the puppies by removing obstacles for them. Now, as I've been at home watching the puppies race around, I've been able to reflect upon the fact that training the puppies is pretty much exactly what we do when we start talking about training our mind. Okay? Except the method that we use to train the mind is meditation. And what we're doing now, in a sense, is training our minds. And this is a very important thing to do if we start looking at maybe our daily lives and realizing that there are things that we do, that we think, that we feel, that make us uneasy, that we know just sort of have negative consequences, or that it's behavior that we just can't really correct. And we begin to see that. And we might have a glimmer that we might want to change some of these behaviors. So with meditation, in training our own mind, we approach it just like we would training the puppies in a sense. We first want to use awareness. Simple awareness of what we're thinking, what we're doing, how we interact in the world. Simple awareness goes a long way. We can never, ever recognize or try to correct any behaviors or thoughts if we don't first become aware of them. So we practice on the bolster simple awareness techniques, simple things to heighten our awareness about ourselves. And that can go a long way towards helping us begin to recognize our current view of the world around us and how we fit into that world, and maybe adjusting it so that our view produces a life filled with a little bit more happiness and a little less suffering. And so meditation helps us become aware and transform at the same time. There's two elements. In my own practice, and the practice of many others, we can again look at sort of short-term benefits and long-term benefits. And in this time where our environment has changed so dramatically and there's a lot more stressors placed upon us, using techniques that we derive in our meditation practice off the mat are very important. In the short term, we can use things like, just like with the puppy, we can recognize thoughts that are producing consequences that are not very productive for us. And we can replace those thoughts with other thoughts. We do that in meditation all the time. That's why we work on breathing and sitting in open awareness, and then allowing our thoughts to go wherever they may, but then coming back to our breath, to any other object, a sound, a sensation, an image. And it's not that we don't want to think in meditation. It's simply that we want to develop the ability to switch from a thought that we don't want to a thought that we choose. That's the key. That's the element that we want to develop and strengthen, the switch. An apple to an orange. It's okay to think about an apple or an orange. That's fine. Developing the switch allows us to switch from a spiraling, negative, self-harming thought to a roller coaster or pizza or our loved one. Any other thought we choose to replace that harmful thought. We learn it on the bolster so we can apply it in everyday life. Second thing we can work on in meditation is recognizing patterns of behavior, patterns of thought that come up all the time. We consistently are being upset by one element, one person. We consistently feel one way, or we think one way, and we realize that, again, it's not really serving us. And if this happens off the mat, we can say, okay, we can be curious. Where did that come from? And we can use our time on the mat to maybe explore that, to be curious about where that behavior came from, where that thought came from, the underpinnings of it. So that eventually we can take that and place it aside, remove it as a distraction. It may always be there, but it's not something that comes up all the time. We've made our life easier. We removed an obstacle, a barrier to our own happiness. So, in our own practice, we constantly want to remember that what we do on the bolster benefits us off the bolster, right? So that we can help transform our lives. And with that, let's take about 20 minutes, right? And do some seated formal practice meditation. To start off with, you can have an easy seat, cross-legged, sitting in a chair, laying down, whatever's comfortable for you. A spine that is softly straightened, okay, comfortable, allows a little bit of the energy to move throughout your body. You can have your eyes open. You can gently close your eyes, whatever you feel most comfortable with. And slowly get accustomed to your seat. Feel free to wiggle around a little bit, move your body. If at any time your body is sore, just simply move it. We can begin by taking in 3 nice breaths. Okay. Throughout my day, I use these series of 3 cleansing breaths to sort of restart my system when I have a thought that is really bothering me. I take 3 breaths. And each breath, it's an even inhale, and an even exhale. And on each exhale, you slowly ride it a little bit longer to stillness. So we'll begin with 1 inhale, and inhale, and exhale. And allow your body to settle with the exhale. And a momentary pause before you inhale. And again, a nice, slow exhale. Thinking of a water pouring from a pitcher till the last drop is gone. And inhale. And then exhale. And on this last exhale, relax and relax and relax. And begin your normal breath. And in each of these 3 exhales, the idea is to find the stillness at the end of the breath. A pause. Just a momentary pause in this race that we're constantly running. The breath in and the breath out is all movement. It almost encourages a mind that moves. But the stillness, it's where our true nature exists, the purity, the emptiness. So with all emptiness is true potential. As we sit and we quietly breathe, we can think of a motivation. What motivates us to take the time out of our day to be here? It may be to still the mind. It may be to bring a deeper level of awareness to ourself. But in all cases, our motivation is to better serve others. As we sit and breathe in and breathe out, our mind will naturally think. And that's okay. Again, as your mind wanders and thinks of other things besides your breath, simply acknowledge it and come back to your breath. Feel the inhale and listen to the exhale. If our mind wanders from our breath, we can listen to the sounds around us. You can listen to my voice. You can listen to the sounds that are in your environment. Simply pay attention to them. Are they loud? Are they soft? And as our mind drifts onto other thoughts, we can come back to the sound. As we sit, we can feel the different sensations in our body. If we're sitting cross-legged, we can feel the sensations in our knees and in our feet. We can feel the pressure on our sit bones. If we're battling any type of injury or chronic pain, we can recognize that. And that can be an object of our focus. And as our mind wanders and thinks about thoughts that we'd rather not think about, we can come back to the sensations in our body. But make it an active choice. And as we sit, we can conjure an image, a visualization behind our eyelids. I like to imagine a white sandy beach with the sun warmly beating down and the waves gently rolling into my feet and rolling back out to sea. They bring with it just a little bit of sand. They take away with it just a little bit of sand. And I can see the spray in the water. I can imagine a tree in my yard. It's just beginning to grow. And again, these visualizations can become objects that we can use when we are aware that our mind is focusing on something that we don't want to think about. We recognize it as a thought that is harming to us or to others. Limit these thoughts. We're less likely to act on them and have them become behaviors and actions. So as we sit for the next few minutes, Just rest and switch back and forth between all the thoughts that are drifting through your head of the grocery lists of the members of your household, of your jobs, of all the things that are pulling you away, and come back to any of the objects, the sounds, the breath, the sensations, the images. And practice switching back and forth. At any point, you can switch from this object meditation to simply rest and open awareness. To simply notice the thoughts that move in and out of your mind, like clouds passing through an open sky. And just be aware of them. If you choose, be curious about where these thoughts are coming from. Ask yourself, how are they generated? Where do they come from? Who is creating them? Of course, the beauty of it is that these thoughts come from us. We may think that they're created outside of us, that they're due to something outside of us, that they're somebody else's fault. But all thoughts are created within us, which is good news. Because that means we can create any thoughts we want. It becomes a choice to choose thoughts that make us feel uneasy, or to choose thoughts that make us smile, that bring joy to others. So any thoughts you have, ask yourself, where did this thought come from? If at any point your emotions become too strong, or your thoughts become too overwhelming, as we rest in this open awareness, allow yourself to choose to go back to one of your objects. The visual image that brings a smile to your face. The nuances of the sounds around you. Touch of your finger on finger. At this point, practice, we can again remind ourselves of why we're sitting. And we can dedicate our practice to helping others find happiness and the causes of happiness, and to help them be free of suffering and the causes of suffering. You can open your eyes and gently come back into your space. And again, I thank you all for taking the time to bring more awareness into your lives. Thank you.